Hello everybody, it's Jeanette Voda. So today I'm sharing a little project for Easter. This is a really simple project that you can do with your kids or, make a few because they're easy, so you can really have a lot of fun with this. I did follow a tutorial for this project and I'll have a link down below for that tutorial. And I'm just going to share a couple tips on putting the basket together. So first let me show you what we got here. It's just a little basket. You can see by my hands it's quite tiny. And I used the papers from Thoughtful Studio, and I'll have a link down below to her page where you can get links to all the collections that she has. You can get them both digitally and some are printable. You can get them sent to you already printed, so on some really nice paper, or digital. So there's only a few that you can get paper, but all of them are available digitally. So, and I used the digital, so I printed these out myself. And I think the colors just are perfect for a little Easter basket. And so let me first kind of give you an idea of how this is made. So like I said, there's a tutorial that I'll have a link to. In the tutorial, she provides a template, and this is the template, Simple Dimple. And what I did was I did print it on paper that I wanted, because I wanted to keep my template and use it multiple times. And I wanted to be able to use it on both printed paper and on scrapbook paper if I had it. So I wanted a blank template, but you could print this. Let's say you have a paper that can go into your printer, whatever size that is. You can put the template right onto that paper. Might make it a little easier to cut the lines and everything, but there's actually a real simple way of transferring the template onto any paper that you're using, such that just makes it really easy. So like I said, I printed out my paper, and of course you're restricted by, the size of your basket is the size of your paper. So since I have A4 paper, I have a tiny little basket. But if you ask me, I think the tiny is really cute. Makes a really nice little centerpiece on your table for Easter. Printed it out, and then I cut all the lines on the template, as you can see. Makes a really fluffy little guy here. What I did was I did put a little A here so that if, for instance, as I was doing my lines, it shifted or something happened, I could easily figure out where it lines back up again so that I didn't have to, which way did it go? So trace out the outside of your template. And then what I did was I used some Post-it tape and just taped it down on a couple of spots. And then I took one little guy and pulled him up like this, and then took my pencil and drew a line. Put it down, picked up the next one, drew a line. And I went all the way around my circle till I got back. That just easier than like trying to, make little tick marks on the outside and then try to, make yours. It's like just so much easier. It goes really fast. Just tilt it up, tick, tick, and keep going. And then when you're finished, you can take it off and you cut each of those lines and you've got your basket. When weaving the paper strips, so follow the tutorial tells you exactly how to do everything. But when weaving your paper strips, one thing that I found useful was to use repositional tape runner. I have a little tape runner with repositional tape. You could also use a little bit of Post-it tape or washi tape just to hold it in place. So the first piece, as I started, you can go ahead and just glue that one straight down. But if you want wiggle room to really ensure that it's, as far down as you want or up a little bit, repositional tape is quite nice to get started. Then one of the things you would have done following the tutorials, you have cut off every other tab. And as you weave through, it gets a little niggly. because these little guys, you know, even though there's not as many as once you cut them all, they flop and flip. Having that first piece glued on just to start makes it a little easier. When I got all the way around, of course, you're going to have, you know, extra paper. Excuse me. I definitely used my repositional tape there to hold it in place. That allowed me to pull it tighter, loosen it until I had it exactly where I wanted. The first one, I kept the repositional tape on until I got the second one on. And then I took off the repositional tape for the first one, glued it on, because then I knew I had it exactly where I wanted. And I did the same process again with the second one. Glued it to begin, weaved it around, put the repositional tape on, got it where I wanted, and started the third one. And then once I had the third one weaved around, I took off the repositional tape, glued, so on and so forth. Depending on how wide you make your strips is, you know, how many strips, you know, you need to go up. This was on an A4 piece of paper. My strips, I believe, are about 1/2 an inch, maybe a little bit smaller than 1/2 an inch. And then at the top, I just put a little ribbon. And I just, the top, you know, is kind of not very pretty, so putting a little something around, but you could also take another piece of paper and put that around. And then the tutorial, she used 2 pieces of paper and crisscrossed them to go across around the handle. I just used the one, but that's a matter of taste and how you like it. For my grass, we had done a crop with Thoughtful Studio, and it was Lucky, so St. Patrick's Day green. So I had some paper in which I had the green that printed on both sides, and I just put it through a paper shredder. Boom, grass. Obviously, you know, if you have Easter grass sitting around, perfect. But if you don't, you can make it out of any paper that you've got lying around. It doesn't have to be green. It could be purple, pink, you know, whatever look you want to go for. For the bunnies and the eggs, what I did was, these are just on little toothpicks, and I did a search on bunny template that was free for use. And when you're tracing your bunny onto your paper, I wanted mine to have paper on both sides. And I wanted to be able to sandwich my toothpick in between. So what I did was traced my template onto the paper, and then what you want to do is with the template, flip it over and then trace. If you do this and then trace it again, when you butt them back to back, yeah, that's not going to work. So unless your paper is double-sided, that won't work. So make sure if you have one-sided paper, if you trace, flip them over to trace the other side, and then they'll go together. And I just put a little toothpick inside. That way I could use it to hold my little bunny and my little eggs in place inside of my basket. And that is that. This whole thing, notwithstanding, you know, the little bit of decorations of the little pearls that I put on and the little bows, minus that, the construction of the basket, the eggs, the bunny, took me 1 hour total. And that was with screwing up a few times. You're getting my pro tips, so you don't do what I did. So yeah, very, very simple project, really fast, and it comes out so cute. And Thoughtful Studios papers are just gorgeous for Easter. So it just screamed, use me as a little bunny basket. So that is my little project, little bunny basket for Easter. It could also, you know, you could, after Easter, take the little bunny and the eggs out and put some flowers in, and then you have a little flower display, so it's not completely Easter. It can be just spring. It's a nice way to get the most out of your little decoration. Again, I'll have a link down below to the tutorial. give her some love. Say, hey, thank you very much for providing such a wonderful tutorial, because it really was very, very easy. And go take a look at Thoughtful Studio. Lots of gorgeous papers that you can use for all kinds of projects. Thank you very much. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.